a big part of self-defense is situational awareness. However, a lot of people don't seem to incorporate the sunlight into that, which is odd for me because that can hinder and aid your performance, but you gotta know where it is. And every day I always incorporate where the sun is into my situational awareness, and here's why. Now, there was an actual situation that I was in X amount of years ago in this relatively open area. It's a bright, sunny summer's day in Brisbane, Australia, and so I was in this area where there was a lake beside this open area where I was, and some other guy was starting on me. Not my fault, by the way, but again, I'm being passive in this position, and I'm politely talking to him, calmly as well, trying to talk him down. He's not really taking no for an answer. So anyway, at this point the sun's kind of coming in at this angle, so it's not really in my face, it's not really in his, but because I knew where it was and there was next to no clouds in the sky, and again, as I said, it's really bright as shit, as I'm talking to him I realized, okay, well, I need to drop this guy now, but based on the way that his body was positioned, yeah, he seemed a little bit smarter than the average dickhead that just kind of stands like this with his hands down in front of you, because he was, had his hands up in a bit more of a tactical position. I don't know, it looked like he did Muay Thai or something like that in the past. And so, anyway, as I'm talking to him, what I'm doing is I'm circling around like this, and he's lining up and staying in front of me while doing this. So I'm moving around. The second that the sun hit him in the face, he started going like that, and that's where I came in and just made my move. So, again, if I didn't know where the sun was, and if I was moving in, the other direction for whatever reason, next thing the sun came in my eyes, well, then I could have just partially blinded myself, and next thing it's hindered my performance. So this is what I mean. You need to be aware of where the sun is. Even when I'm sitting on the train, there's always a specific part of the train that I always sit on, where even on the bus, I make sure on the bus I sit all the way at the back, but when I'm on the train, there's a specific area on the train where I like to sit as well, where there's only a wall behind me. Reason being is because I don't want to sit in any of the chairs where someone else can easily sit behind me and then do kinds of damage to me. It's unlikely that that might happen, but again, I want to lessen that from unlikely to almost never happening. And the best way to do that is get a wall behind my back. But when I'm on the train, so we've established where I like to sit, I also like to make sure that I'm sitting in such an area of the train where, based on where the route of the train's going, I know where the sun's going to be, so that I can set myself up so that the sun's going to be facing, say I'm here, the sun's going to be facing this way, where it's not in my eyes, basically, so the sun isn't facing in front of me. For the most part, the train lines kind of go in a linear fashion. Yeah, it may curve to an angle like this, but bus routes, they kind of go all this way, so yeah, you don't really have a say as to where the sun's going to be in your face on the bus. But on a train, it's a little bit of a different story. But again, you need to know your route, and you need to know where the sun is, and you need to pick the best parts to sit as well. You can also follow a similar principle with streetlights. Now, if you are seeing a bright streetlight, then I'm assuming you're walking around at night time, so be extra careful. But also, now, not all streetlights are really bright, but some of them in some areas that I've been are. And I've done training with other people in these particular areas at night time just to test this stuff out, and we found that if I stand in such a way where the light is behind me and then the other person is directly in front of me, they can't see my face. So there is a chance that muggers, if they know this principle as well, then they can position themselves behind the shrubs or bushes, assuming there's ones there, wait for an unsuspecting victim to approach, and next thing they come out, with the knife and everything like that, wanting to rob the person, and then the beauty of it is that the other person can't see their face, so make sure that you take these kind of things into consideration as well. Same principle as the sunlight. Maybe you could move around so that they can be partially blinded by it. But again, you need to make sure you take into consideration that the brightness of the street light will be enough to cause that effect, right? Again, this all just comes back to situational awareness. But this is really the only topic that I wanted to talk about this, so anyway, lights and the sunlight, yeah, it's the same principle really. So make sure that you know where they are, make sure you incorporate your other training into it, and yeah, all in all, make sure you stay safe. Alright, thanks for watching.